could have told you, Vincent, this world was never meant for one as beautiful as you, but it was meant for NH Unscripted. I am your Don McLean-like host, Ray Dudley. We are coming to you from the Gong Show like digs of the WKXL studios in Concord, 1450 AM, 103.9 FM. You know the drill here. Break out the Motorola, gather the kids around the radio, put the Swanson TV dinners in the oven. Please make mine Salisbury steak. 101.9 FM for the folks in Manchester. And yeah, it's 2024. Duh, we do have a URL. NHTalkRadio.com. Huh, think of that. Yes, sir. Ooh, I have to thank my sponsor, Lakes Region Fence up in Guilford. Matt and his crew up there do incredible work. And when I say incredible, let me tell you, I think right now, even though it's early spring, I think they're like 8 to 10 weeks out. So if you need a new fence, around your pool, or that dilapidated thing you think is a chain link fence in your yard with the roots growing through it, and your neighbors think it's some kind of old bombed out 1942 relic, get rid of it. Contact Matt. Go out to lrfence.com. There is a link out there for a free estimate. And as you know, we old folks like free. We like coupons. We like free. Yes, we do. Click the link. Get a free estimate. There are reams and reams of photos out there that you can grab your favorite squeeze, sit down at the kitchen table, and just spend hours going through them. Choose something. Get off your butt. Change that fence. LRFence.com. LRFence.com. That's Lake Region Fence up in Guilford. Thank you, Matt. Ooh, I have a special guest today. I call him a Renaissance man because I don't know what the word means, and it seems like it fit him. John Marshall is in the house. Hello, sir.
How you doing, Ray?
I am good.
You call me Renaissance because I can't figure out what I want to do with my life?
I got to get up with thesaurus. I'm not quite sure. Right. It just seemed like
fancy, big, long word.
I know. Listen, don't defriend me, but I have to admit, because...
Well, I don't have Facebook, so I can't.
But you could. You could. I had to stop this morning, and I had coffee from Irving. I know.
He thinks that'll insult me because I roast my own.
I do. That's exactly right.
No.
What?
Wait, no, I don't. That's fine. The thing is, I like diner coffee. Like, if you go to the diner and you want the watered brown experience,
that's been on the burner.
That's
for
just fine. It tastes metallic. That's fine. I have a friend who's like, no. I like good coffee, but if I go to the diner, I want it to be bad. Like, it's part of the experience for him. I don't go that far. But,
Americana, baby.
Right. Just watered down. No, it's fine. I love good coffee, and like Ray and I were we the other week or so we roasted it out of a popcorn popper. I got some green beans, so I went down the rabbit hole as far as bespoke, homemade, homebrew, all that stuff.
Dude, I have that container. I have not roasted anymore since we did it.
Yeah.
But I have that container, and I like pull it out gently.
Yeah. It's like the ritual.
Exactly. I open it up slowly, wafting through the... You get the aromas coming out. Oh, my God. The whole thing is like this huge process. Uh-huh. I save it literally for times when I have plenty of time on my hands.
Nice.
And it's like a special event.
Yeah.
Because, I'm going to use the press, which I hardly ever use.
Sure.
It's either my Nespresso or it's the drip or I got my percolator.
Right.
But when it's that special afternoon on a Saturday and I just need that jolt of energy, dude, I just dial the little dial on the safe. I just creak the door open. I pull it out slowly.
Good. I'm honored, honestly. Take it away. Go for it. That's what I wanted to give you. You were like, you roast your own? I was like, let me let you in on this secret of making your own little piece of paradise here.
Dude, if I had to go find that on my own on YouTube, I'd be like, I would spend hours just run the rabbit holes trying to figure out.
What's funny is my wife says it's like everything that you can buy. I look up like, well, how hard could it be to make my own? And then eventually, half an hour later, I go, it's that easy? And then I have another hobby. And then I have more stuff in the house.
And then he's like Mr. Peabody, putting everything together. Get the Wayback Machine out. He's tinkering. You'll hear him out in the shed.
The Peabody Award.
Get the grinder going out in the shed. Oh, well, I can make
Watch
this
out,
better.
Rookie! Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, those are great references, man. Great
Thanks.
references.
Well, my parents did pretty good. We watched old TV shows as well. So we had to get them on. Back when Netflix was discs in the mail.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. I know, all the way back
You
then,
don't look
right?
that old.
No, but it was fun. We had dial-up. We were in the mountains of Vermont
Even
somewhere.
as you say it, in the back of my mind, I can hear the sound of I can hear it.
Yep.
The old AOL discs.
Yeah.
I think they went out of business just because they put out so many of those free, crazy discs.
Yeah.
Dude, that'd cost them an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
You'd get them in your cereal box. You'd get them in the mail. Oh my God, I couldn't believe what.
Do you know what kind of blows my mind? I saw this video, and it's like an audio to visual waveform representation of that AOL dial-up sound. It's a modem handshake. So basically, what you're doing is you're taking your phone line, and instead of an analog signal of voice, it is switching over to audio as digital going through the phone line.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So what it's doing, what that sound is two computers talking to each other using sound.
Okay, that's scary.
Isn't that crazy?
That's scary.
So the part is like a billion ones and zeros.
So you screaming out, "Hey, I'm over here!"
Yeah, right. Well, what they're doing apparently, and I nerd over this stuff all the time.
So handshake is
it's called a handshake.
Good term.
Yeah,
man.
it's a modem handshake. Basically, what you're doing is they would use phone lines mostly for voice. But then what they would do to use dial-up internet is you have the computer and the modem and the internet. They would talk to each other. They say, "Okay, great. We're using sound for the moment because we understand ones and zeros going blah, blah, blah." And then once they decided on all these parameters, they would test the echoes in the electrical lines of the phone lines, and they'd have to dial in certain parameters for the conversation. And then once all of these things, it'd be like, I talk like this, you talk like that. Great, we'll use this language. All this stuff, these little parameters. Then it goes silent because then they can use actual digital pulses of electrical information instead of sound anymore.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
It's so cool.
You just blew
It's so
my
cool.
Wow.
Yeah, if you look up dial-up internet modem handshake like visual or whatever on YouTube, and it shows all the different at the different frequencies of sound, like these mean different, bits and boops, and it'll show it. It'll show like a waveform as it goes past, and it go beep beep beep, and you
That's
sometimes
like so many zeros and ones.
right. It'll label this part is saying, I can't hear you when you talk like that. Can you speak up a little bit? We'll have to amplify the signal, blah, 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 blah.
I wonder if this is going to be crazy, but
Yeah.
I wonder, would that change based on different languages? Like if you were in Germany and trying to do the handshake in those days, would the ones and zeros be different? Or is it
It's
just
not
ones and
English.
zeros are...
It's like ones and zeros. It's like code. It's like if you learn Python or C++ or something in Germany or US. I think these are kind of universal.
Oh,
things.
yeah. That
So
makes
like
sense.
I'm saying handshake and speak up and all that stuff, to put it in English, human terms. But
Because we dominate the language.
we do, yeah. And it's it's all subjective, so how it sounds and how it's kind of how it is.
It is so good to see you.
Hey, it's really good to see you
I'm so
too.
glad you came down here from the North Country,
Oh,
baby.
Ray.
How was that ride? I mean...
well, there was one person from a state slightly to our south who wouldn't use cruise control and wouldn't get out of the left lane.
I love those people.
It made me feel warm, fuzzy feelings inside. I'm like, listen, we only have 2 lanes.
We're about
Can
to
you
learn
please
some new
use them
words."
better? We like your tourism. We want your money. But please, dear
Stay
God,
home.
learn to drive.
Oh, my
Learn to drive how
God.
we drive,
Oh,
because
my-
I understand it's a battlefield down there. The Boston Cowpath City.
I got to go to
streets.
Boston on Friday.
Good luck.
I'll
pray for
I
you.
despise it. And I grew up in Boston. I grew
Yeah.
up in Boston.
It's a lovely city. It's like a walkable city. I like it, but it's
Yeah,
weird.
It is.
It's just weird.
The traffic, they did nothing to fix it. This is just an old trope, I know.
Sure.
But that $18 billion later, and the traffic, except for getting to the airport, the traffic is still a nightmare.
Yeah.
A nightmare. And I end up going down to Longwood Ave, which means
Yeah.
Starro Drive. And depending on what time of the day I go, I have to take nitroglycerin pills
Right.
because my heart's just going to explode.
Do you know that we call it getting storroed,
Yeah.
where another truck would hit the overpass or something like that because
Yeah.
they didn't read
Yeah.
the height restriction?
I was on that road one night, and it was evening traffic, dinner traffic,
Yeah.
and a car was in the middle lane broken down, steam shooting out of like the radiator, and you knew everything stopped. Wow. Everything stopped. Yeah. Now people had to go around him, and Star Drive's already a nightmare.
Star Drive is way too small and already way too fast. So people coming around.
Can you? That is unbelievable. Did Andrew click that early? I cannot believe that. You are listening to NH Unscripted. I am your host, Ray Dudley, the one with the bunny slippers on. Yeah. We are coming to you from the YMCA-like digs of the WKXL studios. I can smell the chlorine from here. John, can you smell it?
It smells like a church basement. Thank you.
1450 AM, 103.9 FM, in Concord, 101.9 FM for you beautiful, beautiful, beautiful souls in Manchester. NHTalkRadio.com is the URL. John Marshall's in the house. I got a lot of questions. We're coming back. And just when you bet you could hear yourself sweat, we walked in. Ooh,
good morning, Vietnam!
I'm so glad John is here. You are listening to NH Unscripted. I am your Neil Diamond-like host, Ray Dudley, and we are coming to you from the Hollywood Squares-like digs of the WKXL studios in Concord, 1450 AM, 103.9 FM. Those are for people who know what a radio is, like us old folks. 101.9 FM for the beautiful souls in Manchester. We're sending out streams of love today, just streams of it, because we got so much of it here. NHTalkRadio.com is the URL. I'll give you a little more information on that. John and I are just bumping gums, just trying to figure out where we are in life.
Yeah. How do we get here?
Yeah,
what are we doing?
That is a great question. I do want to say, before I forget, Randy told me that she has plants for you. Plants.
That's my That's my weakness. I like plants.
My wife does herbal gardening, and she's got some crazy things for you.
That's
she said,
awesome.
don't even worry about seed swapping.
Oh,
she's
cool.
got,
Yeah?
Yep, she's going to plant them in cups and get them going and just give them to you, baby, and you can put
She's
them
wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to show off my seed collection, so we wanted to, like, swap.
She's happy to do it.
Oh, great.
She'll be happy to do that.
I have the marshmallow plant that I'm going to try to wake up after dormancy that she gave me.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
That thing will take off, baby. You got to watch out for that.
That's good.
So let's talk a little bit about theater.
Yeah. Was it Titanic we met?
I believe it was.
I think it was.
Dude, that was such a great show.
That was really fun.
I love Titanic.
I remember we were just standing up there a lot because Titanic's a stand and sing kind of a show.
Yeah.
Not Rose and Jack, DiCaprio. It's like Broadway 98 was when it showed up, but more of a slice of life, realistic one.
Yeah.
But yeah, Titanic the musical, we just kind of stood there. We were the captain. I was like the builder guy. Thomas Andrews.
The music is ghostly.
Yeah, it's really good.
Ghostly.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I have it on my playlist, and it just pops up periodically and just sends me to places that it's on. It was, and it's not a big set. It's crazy. What I liked about the way we had done it, and I think most places would do it, is if you minimize the set, the audience gets more out of it because they have to use their imaginations to picture this unbelievable ship.
Yeah, it's not about the boat. It's about the people on it. And it's about their experience on the boat. So if it's just, a hand railing and like a parlor, we get it. That's all you need. People are on the boat. They're talking about it, singing about it. So.
Oh, man. And I love the way the whole time frame of the musical takes place. I mean, it's not like you crash in the beginning. Oh, spoiler alert, it sank.
Oh, God.
It's not like they let you.
Well, it's nice because it lulls you into forgetting what show you're watching. It's really good because you see the third class, second class, first class passengers.
That's brilliant, too.
All these different storylines coming together, like this dream, being built and being showcased for the first time.
And there's songs in it that, like, when they're singing about the evening, that the night that it sank, and it's like dark.
Yeah,
you can almost
like no moon, no wind.
You can feel the chill. You can feel it in the air.
Even
it's cold. Oh my, it's so well done. So well done.
That's a good one.
So that
2019 was that? Yeah.
I believe it was.
Because I remember I was...
You were youngin' back then.
Oh, geez. Younger. Youngin. He likes to make... I call him an old man, and he calls me...
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Yeah. And also an old man.
2019. And then, what do we do after that? Oh, man, we did Into the Woods. We've done...
Yeah. You did Wizard of Oz out in concert.
Oh, my
in
God.
In the hills of New Hampshire.
Thank you.
Jeez. The wonderful Wizard of Oz. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. He thinks he messed up more than he did.
I believe I honestly did mess up. That's all right.
I was like in Boston and Philly, and I'd spent a lot of time in New York. But I then, I grew up hiking in the White Mountains in Lincoln. I had some friends from New Hampshire, although I was from Vermont. We'd come over and hike, and then... So I'd only been to Lincoln, had pizza after, a couple backpacking trips, and then here I am auditioning in the New England scene, and then got hired at this theater and went up for the season in the summer of 19, and I was like, oh, that's this town. I didn't know there's a theater here. That's pretty cool. How about that?
Isn't that crazy?
So now at North Country Center for the Arts for, 5 shows from June to September. And, that's where I met my wife, too.
Never
Victoria.
left. Oh, you did?
Yep.
Does she brag about you?
More than I hope. She embarrasses me. I'm like, Mom, stop, level. No, it's great. She's awesome. Yeah, she was the stage manager all season. I remember meeting her in the kitchen of like one of the housing areas where I'm moving in, and we're like, how many shows are you in? We're both like, all of them. So we're either going to hate each other or be, best friends.
It's got to be a tough job. I honestly, I don't know much about the stage manager's role.
Jeez.
I know
they put up with a lot of
They help me out of so many situations, John. I can't tell you.
It's a wonderful bonding experience for anybody. We made so many friends, sharing the stage, or, the tech crew. As long as we get along with them, it's this. We're all working together, trying to make it happen. Put the show on. So. And
North Country Center for the Arts is really kind of unique. The shop is the dressing room, just about.
It's close to it, right? We have to make use of space pretty well.
Yeah,
that's right. But there's some curtains and mirrors up
there.
Right. I remember the first year they were still kind of figuring out some of the spacing, but Joel, our boss, and all of us, we've made a good team. So
man, the are they still planning to expand it?
A little bit, I think. I mean, the idea was, when they were moving into this new building after, the paper mill.
Yeah.
The paper mill building was condemned, so they had to build Gene's Playhouse, the new venue. But there was, there was hope of building out the back end of the theater as a bigger shop, and there's still like the start of a foundation there. So I think so.
There's a foundation. Oh, I know.
There's a couple like footers and cement walls with some bolts and stuff in it. So they can, and I think they plan to. It's just that we're trying to get our ducks in a row and concentrate on the important stuff first. Putting out fires was important.
I am amazed at how much actually goes on up at the North Country Center for the Arts.
Well, it's mostly Joel Mercia. He's awesome.
It's amazing how busy
kind of
they are.
Saved the place.
It's so diverse.
We're so lucky to have him. Yeah.
I keep thinking there's only like 4 or 5 shows every year, but that's not true.
No. They've fully expanded into the winter season too, especially for the ski crowd.
Yeah.
So we do Halloween. We do the ghost light haunted experience. It's like immersive theater. You walk through the whole thing. It's like a video game walkthrough.
That was brilliantly done.
It's scary. It's so scary. I don't have the nerves for it anymore. It's like, ooh.
You are an old man.
I am, right? It's crazy.
You're turning soft.
Yeah, like we're walking through, closing up shop at night, and I'm like, oh, that's scary. I don't want to be in this building anymore. Turn it off. It's how it's scary enough, and so when I don't want to work there. Yeah, and we do, Christmas. We just did Christmas Carol.
Yes.
Yeah. Sold out.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it was great.
I was really happy.
It was awesome.
Really, really happy.
Yeah.
Joel makes some room for me, baby. I'll tell you.
He
puts up with a lot.
Your dream team, so thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Are there things that you would like to see done up there that have not been done yet?
Oh, I have a couple shows I love. I did Music Man in high school in Lebanon, and I would love to do it again. That would be so much fun.
I haven't seen anybody do that in a while.
Yeah, I think it's one of the golden age ones, but I guess people might think it's overdone, or high schools do it too much or whatever, but I haven't seen it in a long time.
Me either.
Yeah.
I did it like...
It's so good.
Never mind how old I am, but I did it years ago.
Yeah.
Had to be at least 30.
Yeah.
But and I have not really seen anybody do it since.
It would be an excellent show.
I think so.
For our space.
It's so much fun. People know all the songs. I mean, they've been around for a million years, you know.
Yeah.
It just would be, and Gene's, well, North Country Center for the Arts.
Yes.
Would be a perfect place for that.
North Country Center for the Arts.
And outside, it'd be a great one for the with the early...
Oh, the concert? We did a few concerts. I don't know what the future of that is, though. We'll have to see. Yeah. We were doing it up at the Pemi Base Camp, South Mountain in Lincoln. It was beautiful. Sound of Music with the mountains in the background.
Yeah. Oh,
it was perfect.
Perfect,
but,
you're right.
I don't know. There's been a lot of construction, and I don't know what the future of that is, but we have a lot of good stuff going on in the building. Our parking lot's getting paved.
Oh, thank God. Are you kidding?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Have they started?
Not yet. They're gonna. I heard May, but I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, it's great. Our good friends at Riverwalk Inn and Resort right next to us are doing that big expansion, so we're basically in their backyard, their campus.
Dude, I walked out. I don't know what show we were doing. I can't remember, but it had poured.
Yeah.
And boy, when you're
raining?
Yeah. I walked out to my car. It was literally the water over my calf. It was hitting the bottom of my truck.
Yeah.
There was so much water in that yard.
Oh, yeah. What was...
lot.
I can't remember what show that was.
It poured, I know.
That was... No, it was Into the Woods. That was it. That was this last summer. Yeah. Because we had so much rain, and our dirt parking lot, the drainage hadn't been fully completed or whatever, so it just showed the weakness of that.
Unbelievable. Seriously, up
over the quantity of water. I saved a castmate's car. I waded in with bare feet and pulled up my pants and stuff like that. I was just rolling up my sleeves. I wandered in. I was glad there was just mostly water and it wasn't stupid.
I wanted to ask you. I asked. Leeches.
Right. Oh God. Crocodiles.
Leeches. I wanted to ask you because I like to ask. Oh my God! No, that cannot be.
All right.
All right, take a letter, Maria. We gotta put a pin in it right there temporarily. Don't get panicked. You are listening to NH Unscripted. I am your host with maybe I have pajama bottoms on, Ray Dudley. We are coming to you from the Taj Mahal-like digs of the WKXL studios. It's so cavernous in here. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM, Concord, 101.9 FM for Manchester. You beautiful, blessed souls down there. NHTalkRadio.com is the URL. John Marshall is in the house, and we're talking all things theater. We'll be back. And our house is a very, very, very fine house with no cats in the window. Yeah, because it's NH Unscripted. No animals allowed. Well, none that you can't eat anyway.
Except for me.
There you go, baby. Ooh, he is an animal. Ooh, dizzy head. You are listening to NH Unscripted. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM in Concord, 101.9 FM in Manchester. NHTalkRadio.com is the URL. And let me give you a little info what happens out there. You go out to NHTalkRadio.com. There is a button where you can listen live to any of our programs as they're streaming. You can also find archives of this great award-winning show as well as all the other things that take place here. I don't even know. I guess there's other shows. I only know this one. That's what all my fans talk about. NHTalkRadio.com is the URL. In-house with me is John Marshall, my good friend.
Good day to you, sir.
How are you?
I'm quite well, thank you.
So I went out yesterday up to the Tamworth area.
Nice. Oh, yeah.
And I went to see the Again and Again farmstead. I had them in the other day to talk about permaculture.
Ooh.
Dude, you would love their farm.
Ooh. That sounds awesome.
There's so much happening out there. You cannot believe. They gave us a private tour. Because Randy and I went out, and it was Ethan and Amy. And they took us. They have trees, fruit trees, and They like go out hunting
Yeah.
for things that no one else has.
Yeah.
They have these fruit trees that they have only one of them. He had to search for years to find the wisp or whatever it was that he could get. It's an apple tree from Europe somewhere, and he's got one of them.
Wow.
And I said, man, if that thing ever dies, you're going to cry for hours. He's going to have to take like cuttings and stuff just to propagate it.
But what a beautiful collection. I love that stuff.
Man.
Yeah.
And they got sheep and ducks and chickens and, they got the whole science down where they just put the sheep out there when the grass starts growing.
And rotational grazing, the manure.
Move the chickens in right after them to take care of all that. They've got biochar going on out there.
Biochar is an incredible piece of magic.
I told you,
if you guys don't know about biochar, it's basically like activated charcoal is best. The whole point is that charcoal has like porosity in it. It's carbon, so it doesn't decompose.
Real charcoal. Not like the stuff you get from Kingsford,
No, not like a briquette. But if you burn wood in the absence of oxygen, it off-gases wood gas, which you can burn. They used to do that when there's fuel shortages. You can run a gasoline engine on it. But you are left with the carbon that can't burn, and then that is a structure that's already porous. But if you activate it, which involves different things, you can inject superheated steam, in a reactor, and the steam takes little bites out of it and makes carbon monoxide and hydrogen and all that stuff. But the whole point is that activated charcoal is a more porous charcoal, which increases the surface area by factors of...
Oh, it's unbelievable.
A whole bunch.
They were saying something crazy like a quarter teaspoon has like a half an acre worth of
surface area. Yeah. So the whole point is that any fertilizers or nutrients or microbiological life that would otherwise seep through or like not have a place to go, what they can do is they can adhere to a good surface. They can latch on, and the charcoal becomes like a high-rise condo for microbiological life, which processes, larger compounds into simpler, more easily plant digestible compounds.
Yeah.
And people have seen you add a 1/10 or like a 20th of the volume of soil. You add in biochar, activated charcoal.
Yeah.
You can basically see, I don't have a number, but ridiculous gains. Because whatever would otherwise leach out of the soil gets trapped. It's like a sponge.
Right.
And then it provides a place for these microcolonies to thrive.
So they
shelter.
Activate a lot of theirs with worm castings.
Sure.
They'll make like a tea out of that?
They take a tea, right, because the charcoal, if you just throw activated charcoal on, it'll actually absorb and pull nutrition out of the soil first.
Yes, warning.
And you'll have to catch up. So it could kill your plants.
Yes.
If you're not careful about it. Obviously, if you're putting it in and slowly developing your soil, that's great. But yeah, if you prime the charcoal first with like a ferment, you can make like a tea, you can, do all that stuff. And then the charcoal's already packed with, nutrition.
Yeah, it's ready to
go.
Microbes.
It's ready to go. You add it in. All it can do is give.
Yeah.
And host these colonies, which
He's got this. You would love it. It's
the
like
roots
this
need it. So
big honking fire pit. It's like beveled and everything.
Right.
The fire's underneath, and
you take your biomass, your cellulose, your wood, your scraps. Yeah, just toast it in there.
You would love it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, man! It's fascinating. They gave us some of that. They got the whole worm casting thing going on, the worm farm thing. Oh, they've got it all. It's
incredible.
It's impressive. And as you walk through his farm, he takes you through, he'll be like, oh, this is zone 1. Because it's so close to the house, right? So zone 1 is the closest.
Having different zones according to how you have civilization on one end, and you have a blank, undisturbed
zone
forest.
0 is your house.
Right, sure. You have your house, and then you have the forest, and then there's like a gradient between the two. And what is your relationship to the forest in this zone gradient from 1 to, 8, 5?
Yeah,
something like that?
Some 8, at least 8, I think. Yeah.
And then each thing is better for different types of cultivation or animals or vegetables depending on how far one direction it is in the other.
He's got more stuff going on. He's got swales, monstrous swales.
Yeah, catch the water.
Yes, and feeds it and holds it, and he's got hugel beds where rain hits them, and all that material rolls off into the fruit trees and the berries. And
well, there's water everywhere, literally falling from the sky. So if you catch it and use it better, that reduces water consumption.
Oh man, you would love it. You would really love it.
I would really love that.
I know you
awesome.
would. I know you would.
You know, it's funny. I was thinking about it or doing research into soil health because that's also a thing that I do.
Huh.
Right. I know you said Renaissance man.
I'm telling you.
I love gardening. But the basically the different ways to improve soil health, there's like the Masanobu Fukuoka. He wrote One Straw,
rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
The One Straw Revolution. He's sort of like head of Japanese permaculture, and it's called The Natural Way of Farming. So there's a lot of coming into harmony with the universe through farming. It's like you're cultivating human beings, is kind of what they say, instead of food, or by the food you're cultivating better human spirit.
Well, you can tell they're so connected.
Yeah.
They're so connected to what's going on there.
So you have One Straw Revolution, then you have what is it, Bill? I can't remember his name. Mollison, yeah. The permaculture guy in the U.S.
Yep.
Was he Canadian or U.S.? I can't remember.
I don't remember that.
Thought he was U.S.
Him and Jeff Lawton.
Yep.
And Sepp Holzer. He's over in Sweden or something like that.
So looking into all this stuff, basically what you're doing is you are trying to emulate what nature already does almost perfectly.
Yeah.
I mean, for our needs, we have these domesticated vegetables that have higher, growth to make the things that we need to eat.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're going to go pick a berry every time, because there's a hunter-gatherer thing, which you can do, but it's a very on-the-go lifestyle. And since we have to have office jobs, we can't be always looking for food like a deer.
Right.
And so we've, prioritized, that's what civilization and the field are, as a way to put the food where we need it and maximize it so that we can do other things.
Well put.
That's fine. I mean, you can choose the other life as well. You can go out, but this is a way of sort of making efficient, getting nutrition from the land. So, but what maximizing soil health, every step, making biochar, you add organic material amendments like cellulose or grass clippings, leaves, that kind of thing. That's another thing, is you add biomass. You add like good river sediments or that kind of thing. What you're basically doing is you're emulating different natural disasters that cleanse the land.
Yes.
Right. So a biochar,
he talks like a fire going through a forest.
Yes, like a forest fire is what naturally deposits biochar into the land and into the soil, and then you have trees falling and dying, and leaves falling on. That's your organic material amendment. And then you have river sediment. That's a flood.
Yeah.
So if you have these floodplains that are usually not great to build on, but are excellent soil, you let the river have a turn, is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Is you retreat, you let the river do its thing, and you come back, and then it gives of its bounty anymore.
Isn't that one of the things about the Nile? How it overflows and then all that around the delta around that?
Yeah.
It's all
it overflows
such a rich...
and then it goes back every time. And they didn't build where it was going to flood because they knew that was for food and for cultivation in the field. And so, we have flooding from the rain last year. We had this big thaw and a bunch of rain this spring. I always see these folks who got a deal on land down in a floodplain, and their house is flooded. I'm like, I want you to live in a better place.
Duh.
I feel bad for you. I'm sorry.
Oh, man, put a pin in it. Hang on, it's time to go get our Spam sandwiches. John and I just gotta feed our little brains. We're burning so much. BTU's here today. You are listening to NH Unscripted. I am your happy to be out of bed host, Ray Dudley. We are coming to you from the Get Smart Like Digs of the WKXL studios. No, we're not using the cone of silence. Get that out of here. At 1450 AM, 103.9 FM. That's in Concord. 101.9 FM in Manchester. And our URL, nhtalkradio.com. We got one more segment to go. We'll be back. The dawning of the age of Aquarius, because NH Unscripted has been founded. Oh, we love the water. You are listening to us on 1450 AM, 103.9 FM. Those are for you who still know what a radio is. I got mine in my basement. Yep, it's in a Faraday bag, but that's a whole nother story. Don't want to go off that rabbit trail just yet.
If the Bluetooth is broken, then you must use the radio.
101.9 FM for the beautiful souls in Manchester. NHTalkRadio.com is the URL. John Marshall is in the house, and I got to ask him this question. All right.
Do it.
For actors. So I was in New York,
Yep.
went to the Museum of Broadway, and was fascinated by it. It's an incredible stop if you get into New York. But it made me think. It made me really think as you see these big stars, big name stars, and they have a choice. And now pretend you're a big name star.
Okay.
Bigger than you are.
Sure.
Okay. and you
I'm a star for you, Ray.
they want you on Broadway, and they're going to give you a choice.
Yeah.
Would you rather, as a big name star, be in a play that has never been on Broadway, which you could help propel, or would you rather be in like a big name play that's already been out there, you know, like Les Mis or something, to which you can add your weight? What would you rather do?
Kind of different tools for different purposes, I would say. I mean...
Okay, that's kind of an answer.
Sure. Like, if the play is famous and I'm not so much, I would choose the famous play to help a career. But if the play is not famous, but as you are saying, I am...
Yes.
Then
Yes.
I think I would choose the little one. I mean, if I like the play.
Yeah.
I have my tastes and things I will and won't do.
I mean, because they get people like Al Pacino and, you know, Bruce Willis and Hugh Jackman, and they tend to put them in things that are already done. Right?
Yes.
To draw audiences.
Right,
right?
of course.
You get,
Yeah.
So, but then you get the Jeff Daniels. Well,
Right.
I tend to use him. I know that, you know, Mockingbird is not.
Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I often think, which would be more useful? Which would be, if you really wanted to use your persona to help something out, would you rather help out a playwright whose product has not hit the stage yet or not?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, you would.
I would say, you know, if I wasn't, you know, you don't need to go make some big Broadway cash cow money, you know, further your career kind of stuff on a big name play. Sure. I mean,
I just saw Josh Groban in Sweeney Todd.
Yeah. I mean, all that stuff is fun. There are a lot of good plays out there I would love to do. But no, I mean, if there's a play and I like it and it hasn't gotten famous, but they're putting together a project and they're like, hey, would you please be a part of this to lend your voice, your presence? Yeah, I love that.
You know, the thing about that is you can make that play a thing.
Yeah.
You have the potential by using your notoriety to propel that thing to something that they hope to.
Yeah, and that's part of being an actor, getting the freedom to choose that kind of thing. So it's not just, well, I have to take Cats on blah, 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 blah. I have to do in Mamma Mia to make some money.
Did you say Mamma?
Well, we made a lot of money at the theater doing Mamma Mia.
Ground my back teeth
It's
off.
not exactly my favorite cup of tea. No, it's fine. It's a
not
fun
in
show.
my top 100.
Everyone has fun.
I like the music.
Oh, of course. Yeah, and plus people have such a good time going, bringing their family,
always,
all that stuff. But yeah, no, I mean, there's the theater as an economic engine, and then there's theater as an art form where you want to get a message heard.
Yeah.
And then if you have the freedom, if one has the freedom because your career is in a good place and you're somewhat financially independent, and you have the choice to make a play produced, if you have that sway, that's a beautiful part of being an actor or being in theater. Is you can bring a message.
Yeah.
You can choose one. You can hear one. You can say, I think people need to hear this, and you get to choose.
I know a lot of theaters struggle with that because you would not think those two things would be at odds, right?
No.
Play with a message or making money.
Sure.
But they can be very easily at odds, right?
Well, that's what, North Country Center for the Arts in Lincoln, we're trying to figure out. We have a lot of tourist flow through that town. And so usually the names that are more easily recognizable get noticed first. Legally Blonde, Mamma Mia,
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz, right. So you have stuff that has to draw in ticket sales, and then usually a theater with a local or regional subscribership basis where they trust you and they'll come anyway. Then you can start doing more artsy, less well-known pieces of work, which are worth doing, but don't have the name draw on the poster, then that's fun.
Yeah.
Then that's worthwhile.
This year's going to be interesting, right? Cats.
Yep.
And Little Shop of Horrors.
Yep.
And Misery.
Yeah, Stephen King's Misery.
Man.
I won't be in that, but it's an interesting piece of theater.
How big is that cast?
I think it's like 3,
Yeah?
3, 4, something like that.
I mean, it takes place in like a bedroom. So
Yeah, sure. It's mostly the lady and the guy.
Yeah.
Like the lady who's crazy.
Yeah.
Who kidnaps the guy because he's in a car accident, and he's a writer.
Kathy, what's her name, made that role kind of famous? Kathy Ender, Kathy.
All I can think of is Bruce Willis. He was on Broadway.
Yeah. I'm thinking, wait, she reminds him of Bruce Willis.
No. The other guy.
Okay.
The other character in the show.
Right. The writer.
Right, exactly.
That she kidnaps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's a fun season coming up. Definitely.
So all of the plays for this year, then, for the most part, they're not the artsy kind of reach out that...
Oh, I mean, Secret Garden is kind of artsy, but Secret Garden in concert, people have heard of it.
Yeah.
So you got the name recognition.
You like Secret Garden?
Yeah, the music's beautiful.
Yeah.
I didn't like the movie so much as a kid. It just kind of weirded me out sometimes, with the ghosts and stuff. But it's beautiful. It's a beautiful story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you working on up there at your house? Have you cleared your land yet? All that?
Well, we're working with a local guy. He's doing some logging for us, but it got a little muddy.
Ooh.
So they're taking a pause, but he's also an excavator, so he's going to clear.
Oh, you'll have a lot of biochar.
Yeah,
Speaking of that, right?
Yeah.
Mother
it's fun.
of
They
God.
have this big pit, and because the wood chip market, like people were supposed to make wood chips, and there's like government subsidies for biomass energy, where they burn the wood chips at plants. Like there's one in Ashland.
Randy's crying right now.
Yeah.
She can't get any.
You can get wood chips.
They won't drop them off.
Because the market fell out from under the wood chip production, and so therefore nobody's buying.
Yeah.
And so therefore it doesn't make any sense to these guys who usually make wood chips in their forestry business can't, because it's not economically viable anymore. And Mike, our friend, Mike Donahue, Excavation,
Good
shout out to Mike. He was like, I lose money making wood chips. And so for a lot of the detritus and like the limbs that they have to take off these big timber trees that they sell, the limbs usually have to be burned because it's a concern of where do you put them, and there's just so much volume. Yeah. So I would love to make biochar or wood chips, pallets, something like that. I just don't currently have the stuff.
Are you planning on building a log cabin? How many acres are you going to clear?
Only a few. Yeah. Only a few. I mean, it's basically just to make a road to the top and then a little spot to grow some stuff. Yeah. So not a lot. But the whole thing was wooded.
You gonna have one of those tiny houses then?
Hey, man.
What's Victoria
You got
want?
ideas, you let me know.
Yeah, Randy will have ideas for you out there. She wants to build a yurt in my yard.
Yurts are super cool.
She wants to build a
yurts.
yurt. Heat it with a rocket mass heater.
In high school, I went to Sharon Academy in Vermont, and we had 4 yurts that were classrooms.
Really?
Outside. Yeah. I think a previous class had decided they wanted to add classroom space, but they built yurts. So they had 4 yurt kits. One of them storage,
Smart.
2 of them storage. I think 3 are classrooms. That was back 10 years ago when I was there. But they were very, very neat.
When you were young.
Back in my day.
Randy wants to put one down where she's got all her wildflowers down by the fire pit down there.
Cool.
Man. Yeah, I know.
That's neat.
I know.
It'd be a good guest suite.
That's what she's thinking.
Right.
I don't know if they'll... I don't know how we get around some of the water issues,
and the ordinances.
Yeah.
Plumbing's a big deal. It's expensive.
Yeah, do you put electricity in it?
Yeah.
Do you put plumbing in?
Right.
I'm not going to put an outhouse down there.
No.
She's talking about like a composting toilet and all this.
Hey,
Give me
it's
a
cool.
break.
Sure.
Love you, honey. Ain't happening. So what do you got? Well, how's your truck? I want to talk to you about your truck.
Oh, the 68 Dodge Power Wagon?
The trucks.
That I keep wanting to show you photos
Trucks,
of?
yes.
The trucks, yes. Well,
one is a parts vehicle.
Right. Well, it's girl math, but for guys,
One is
right?
the Frankenstein.
So girl math is like, well, there's only some little calories that I can eat as many as I want, like girl math. Or like, well, I would have saved, 50% so I can buy 5 more, and that girl math. It's a thing. So it's girl math for guys, right? It's like, well, I could buy a new steering
That's
gearbox.
half my audience you just offended.
No, I know, but they know it too.
No, I have
It's
a husband
thing.
and a wife who listen to this show.
It's like, well, I could buy a new steering.
Are you kidding
I could buy a new part, or I could buy a parts truck.
And that
Love you, Ray.
capped it. Oh, my God. Bermuda, Bahama. Come on, pretty mama. You have been listening to NH Unscripted. Oh, I'm so happy to be out of bed today. I am your host, Ray Dudley. John Marshall, my friend, has adorned the digs, the Perry Mason-like digs of the WKXL studios in Concord.
Happy to be here.
50 AM, 103.9 FM, 101.9 FM in Manchester. NHTalkRadio.com was the URL. Andrew, thanks for running the board, baby. Woo. We'll see you next time.